Why Suika? Why, ultimately, was it decided that the youngest member of the cast, probably the least knowledgeable and least mentally developed, probably, should be the one to be revived before anyone else? It's not a question of why the characters chose to revive her, but why the author chose to revive her, especially in the situation where there would be no readily available revival fluid to use, and that whoever was brought back would need to create it themselves. I think the mangaka chose her deliberately as a way to answer a question tied to the conflict between Senku and Dr. Zeno. Dr. Zeno's goal in the Stone World is to rule over it as science dictator, using his superior mind as intelligence. And to that end, he is very intent on expressing his dominance, which is why his response to the arrival of the Kingdom of Science is so very violent. He looks down on the fools of humanity, as he puts it, and how their squabbles can get in the way of the progress of true science. He has expressed that he thinks he and Senku could be the rulers of humanity with their superior minds. Senku, however, is not interested in ruling humanity today, but in crafting the future to be even brighter as they build humanity back to its strongest. His stated goal has always been to bring humanity back to the point where they left off 3,700 years ago. And that's why Suika was the one who was revived first. That's why she was the one who had to revive the others. It would have been easy to revive Senku or even Chrome. They could whip up the cure in half a month. In fact, Senku did just that. But Suika is not a genius. She's a normal little girl who represents the generation after the current one, as well as ordinary humanity. Because that's what it means to craft the future. Not just to build the world, but to leave for the next generation the tools needed to improve and achieve the same thing. And so Suika, the passive student of all the experts she was surrounded by, had to take the knowledge made available to her and survive, improvise, adapt, and overcome. Yes, I did just do that. She needed to be able to make her own shelter, food, revival fluid, and even clothes. If you look closely, you can see that she even made clothes for Senku, given how his E=mc² symbol looks more like Suika's writing than his own, and he now has a black cape. In this way, Suika follows the saying, "If I have seen father, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." With their expertise, they provided Suika with what she needed to survive. A map, lessons, instructions, even the scientific methods and determination they used to achieve their own scientific discoveries or rediscoveries. But it wasn't easy. It wouldn't have been meaningful if it was easy. Suika had to adapt to the challenges of being alone in a land she wasn't very familiar with and being a young girl who had to save her friends. She needed to build things for use. She needed to find resources. And it took great trial and error for her to succeed in the creation of the revival fluid. 7 years of it, in fact. Using a method that in and of itself was passed down to Senku from the Sengoku period of Japan up to 500 years before he was born. And because of all this passed down knowledge, Suika was able to revive Senku despite not being a genius like him or Dr. Zeno. Because that's the ultimate goal of the Kingdom of Science. Not to dominate with their technology, but to create a future where scientific advancements can happen even beyond them. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment on your thoughts, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Thank you and good day.